Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's well. I had a terrific weekend. It was long. I'll never do it again. 3 days was just too much. I'm exhausted. Yeah, it was just awful, guys. Actually, it was good. Everything turned out good. All my expenses were paid. And I rented a trailer, so I'd leave all my stuff there. Um, and all of that was paid, and I walked away with a couple $100 pocket money, which, you know what, that's for me, it's a success because the networking that I did amongst the people was amazing, folks. I think I'm going to be very busy for Christmas if these people really actually come through with asking for orders. So, now, I've got a couple of people that are asking for some stuff here. I've got one lady who's asking how to start the rose. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to start it. I'm going to put a couple petals on it. And also, I've got another lady, Melba, I'm really sorry that I can't do a full video for you. The only way that I can do that is, I don't have a speed up camera. It's just me. I do this on my phone. I don't have the equipment to be able to speed it up and, so that you could see the whole process. I do the best I can. So what I try to do is I try and give you 2 to 3 videos so that you see from beginning to end, okay? So what you have to do is you have to go to my channel, and then, how you see my videos is you have to sort them by date, okay? Either from the first one I made or the last one that I made. So, and then it all follows each other, okay? That's how I do my stuff, and it works. It's the only way it works for me because I have a phone, and already I've wasted 2 minutes talking about it because, I want you guys to understand why it is that I can't do a full video. Maybe a live. I might be able to do a live. I did ask the question, if you guys want a live, I would do a live, okay? So today is all about how to start that rose on a regular wreath form, okay? This is not a board, it's a regular wreath form. This is all I use. I don't use the boards. I use the wire wreath forms, and I use grapevine, okay? That's it. I make it work. That's all it is. It's just making it work, all right? If you're determined like I am, you make it work, all right? Okay, so we're going to start with the rose, and then I'm going to finish the poppy. I'm going to start the poppy is pretty easy. I'm hoping to get through the whole thing, all right? Now, I've done my middle, and what I did was I took a disc, all right? I can only explain this because it's going to take too much time for me to make it. So I took a disc, and I made it, made it template so that it looked like a little flower, okay? Right? Okay, so I did this. And then what I did was I took my tassels and I glued them around. I did 2 layers, okay? First layer, there's my medal. Look how beautiful it turned out. So yeah, I'm gonna have some hanging tassels, but that's okay. But what I used was a hairspray to make them stiff, okay? So this is all gonna look okay. And even if this is hanging, that's okay. I want that on my wreath, okay? It's all gonna hang on my wreath, and that's okay. I'm good with that. But here's what I did, is I put, I got these beads, these berries. So I glued the berries on each of these corners, right, that I did, all right? And then I put my little pins. I put 3 pins in between each one of them, all right? So that's how I put it together. I love it. I think this is going to look really cool in the middle. So I'm leaving it. So I sprayed it. I'm going to spray it again because it's still got a little bit of wonkiness to it. But I'm just leaving it on here so it stays upside down, okay? So with that being said, we're going to start this rose. I'm going to show you how to, get that going, all right? Oh, my God, this poor person. She's just beside herself. She doesn't know how to, sorry about the camera shake, how to start this. Okay, so I take a regular piece of poly burlap, And poly burlap is always 10 inches. So, you know, edges up on the top, and then I bring my corner in and I make a triangle, okay? So we make sure that we've got, you know, some nice edges here. All right. So from here, okay, I take my corner and I just, all right, do you see that? I'm pressing everything together so that it's making, it's kind of like coming around, okay? I got my zip tie right in the middle, all right? Now here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna zip tie this right onto my wreath form, okay? Without fraying. Oh, this is poly burlap and it frays and frays. So it really isn't our friend, right? I know everybody. So tighten that up, okay, real well. Oh, let's see, I need some clippers here. So I'm gonna take that off, the excess off. Now, you see this edge, all right? We got this edge and we have this edge, all right? So it doesn't matter which way you start. I like to start the edge that's gonna fray first. But now you see that I've got this bottom here. I'm gonna cut this off so it's not gonna take up too much of my room on my frame, okay? So I just cut it off at the end. It's zip tied in there, it's in there tight. Okay, so what I do is I take the end and I start working my rose this way. So I start just spinning this up, okay? I'll spin this up all the way to the end. Now, I'm trying to get it so that, you know, we're going to get it standing up. Okay? Now, I'm going to put some glue on here because I want it to stick. So, this is what I do. I glue it in. Just hold it for a second. And then you take your second piece and you wrap it around. And even if you wanted to, okay, you could glue your inside piece there. But I feel that once you start this going, you're okay. Hold on to your bottom and wrap your bottom piece around, okay? See how, make sure that it's like flat onto your wreath frame here. All right. Okay? There's the start of my rose. All right. Now, I don't like this. I'm going to put some glue up here because it's starting to fray already. So I'm just going to dab a little glue here. All right. And then I'm going to start turning it. There we go. That's better. You know, poly burlap, we know it frays like crazy. I would just keep gluing it, folks. Just keep using the glue. You're going to be happier later with your result. Okay. So now I'm going to bring this down. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to glue this down a bit. Okay. So now what I really want this to do is to start that overlap of the rose, you know. This is what I want. This piece right here, okay? I know it looks a little wonky right now, but glue her down and wait for your glue to set. Because if you don't wait for your glue to set, then you're just going to end up sitting there and look at, I'm fraying like a madman right now. Get one of these. All right. There. Don't get your hair in there. It gets stuck real good. All right. So, you know, you got to manipulate it, play with it. get it where you want it, okay? Now, this petal, this rose requires patience, okay? And just remember what a rose looks like and take your time. I'm not liking what this is looking like. We'll just see what the next petal. So now this is a two-tone, so I'm going to put my next one in this purple here. And then again, I'm going to squeeze that together. First, I'll take my finger off. So kind of like maybe pinch in the middle here and just bring it in so that you have this piece like that, okay? Now, I'm going to put my zip tie in. And you have to put your zip tie in as close as possible, all right? To your next petal. So I'm going to do it right at where my petal ends. Oh my gosh, she's fraying like a madman. All right. Don't worry about this though, because it's in the inside of the flower, okay? Yeah, it is fraying, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to attach this one here, but I'm going to do this backwards, okay? I'm going to attach it onto the opposite side so that my petal is actually sitting against my rose here. Come on. All right. Okay, so see how I did that? I put it on the opposite side, all right? So now I'm just going to take that off. I'm just going to cut that off so that we don't have too much excess. Now, it's just all the way that you're going to put this together, folks, okay? Try one side. If that doesn't work, try the other side. Tuck that in, okay? Try your sides before you even glue that down. See how it works, how it's going to work for you. I like to make mine fairly tight so that I don't have any access to play around with. Now, it gets easier as it gets all right. You see that? Okay. I'm going to glue this down. Right? Just my ends I'm gluing down, okay? And I'm like really tucking it in there. And just hold it until you're ready for your next petal. Now, if you see, okay, right here, this is where my next petal's got to go. I got to put it right here. Just let that glue set. Take your time. I'm going fast here because I really want to get on this poppy. All right, so I'm going to do one more petal for you. So again, you know, we just bring that down to a triangle like most of my petals. Okay, you can stretch it a little bit. Okay, so now, because, you know, we've got this, we want this part here to be right there. So I'm going to just zip that like that, okay? So as you can see in the back, I've got my little tail sticking the other way. And I'm going to get as close as possible to this petal. And again, I use 3 holes. I leave one in the middle. Tie that down. There we go. a zip tie. Now I'm ready to wrap this up. If you want to glue your first petal, you can go ahead and glue your first petal. I mean your first side. It's probably best. And then you just kind of wrap this around the other way. By keeping things flat, you'll be all right. Okay? There we go. Now I'm just going to take at the end of my little petal here and just move that off. So see, every time that I wrap, okay, I have this, all right? So the next one's going to go above that. And it's just going to keep going round and round. And we're just going to have different colors. We've got the lighter color in the middle and the darker side. Now, if you wanted to make this more prominent on the purple, the light purple, you could add another petal right here. And then this one. It's up to you, okay, what you do with this. So I hope this is explanatory to where you start on your rose, okay? I have to finish this for my craft show this weekend. So I'm going to finish this off later. But look what's happening in here. You can see that, you know, we're looking like a rose here. Except that my middle is not really middled out the way I want it. But like I said, you got to play with it. You know why, folks? I didn't glue my first piece. But that's okay. You can still see it, right? So there you go. There's the start of your rose on a regular frame. Now we got to do this poppy. This is really important to me, giving this poppy to the vets, all right? When I got my pins, the lady was like extremely excited about it. So, you know, and it's not that hard, folks. There's not very many petals. There's 8 and 12, okay? So here's how we're going to do this. Okay, so I decided that I want my flower fairly big, so I took a 14-inch frame, all right? I put my middle in. So you use 21-inch mesh, and what I did was I used 21-inch, but I cut at 20 inches, okay? And this is fabric mesh, all right? So I have 2 pieces here, okay? 2 pieces for 1 petal, okay? So what you do is you line your 2 pieces together and make sure that they're even, all right? And then bring them in together and tie them off, okay? Like not tie them off, but, excuse me, clip them off. I just had lunch, so I'm so sorry. All right, so then you take the other side and you do the same thing. Make sure that everything is going to be like copacetic and nice and even, okay? You got 2 petals that are same size, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that they stay the same size. All right, so see how I used my thumb here? That's so, it's catchy, okay? But if I use my thumb or a finger underneath it, then it's not going to fray, okay? I'm just making sure that everything's together. All my corners are meeting, okay? I'll put another clip on. Now, I'm going to do the same in the middle, as I'm going to grab everything together. 1, 2, and then the ones in the middle, okay? I got glue all over me. All right, so now I'm going to make sure that all this is nice and straight. I'm going to put another clip here. I'm going to do the same on these 2 ends here. I want everything to be nice and even. Okay, any more clips? Yeah, I got one here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn everything around this way. I don't know that you guys can see this. I'm going to bring this back up a bit. Okay, that's good. So now I've got everything folded in half, okay? I'm going to make sure that everything's nice here on this side because I don't have a clip here. But this is where I'm going to start working. So all right. Okay, I have everything together. I do. I do. I do. All right. Okay. So I start probably about an inch up. Okay. And I go, and I take, excuse my glue on my fingers. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I take about an inch up, and then I fold an inch. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, now we got to keep this together over here, and this is going to start moving towards this way. Okay, but that's okay. And then I move this a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again, and another one. Now, this is going to end up, you're going to have a whole pile of stuff in your hand here, okay? It's a lot to hang on to. So I can let go of that one. About an inch, no more than an inch. And see how I'm keeping this even, all right? Try and keep it as even as possible. And then another one. And another one. Okay, now I could probably let go of this one here. 1. Now, I shouldn't have let it go, but that's okay. I'm going to make sure that I have 2 more spots here, and I want this end to end up on the bottom. So I want the edges to be on the bottom this way, okay? There's my petal, all right? Now, I'm going to zip tie this with a nice big zip tie. I hang on to it. I want it to remain flat, right? You know how flat that is? And I'm just going to tie it off. Now, okay, so from here, I go ahead and I put it on my wreath form. And I put it on, I'm going to put it on bars 2 and 3. I mean, yeah, 2 and 3. I put my zip tie in the back. So what I'm finding, because I'm using such a big frame, okay, what I find here, what's going to happen is I'm going to need more petals than, you know, normal. So here's what I'm going to do is I am going to make 4 big petals. Is this what I want here? 1. So I should be using 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So bars 2 and 3, I'm going to tie this off. Right. All right, so bars 2 and 3. All right, so that's where I'm tying that off. Okay, so that's our first petal. All right, next, I'm gonna do another one. Same thing. I think my frame is too big, but I'm going to be doing another petal in between, so I'm hoping that everything's going to work out. If not, I'm going to have to move to a 12-inch. All right. So again, I take my 2 pieces, all right? I line everything up, make sure everything's like even, right? I take my 2 corners, I put them, my 4 corners actually in this case, I put them all together. I put my clip on. Same thing with the other side. Take all my corners and put them all together. And then, you know, you can always do this to it to make sure that they're even. Now I'm going to come in the middle. Make sure all this stuff is going to be together. I'm going to clip that off. I'm going to clip this side off. Now, fabric mesh has a tendency of going zigzag on you for some reason, especially near the ends. So just work with it, folks. Just work with it. That's all you can do, is the best you can. All right. So again, I'm going to put this clip over here, and I'm just going to start. So I'm going to take 1 inch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You notice how I'm pushing it back? I'm pushing everything back in, okay? 6, 7, 8. So I guess it's 9 folds, guys. The last one underneath. Okay, so there's a beautiful petal. So I'll just hang on to that, put my zip tie on it. Come around. A poppy, this poppy only requires 4 petals. And I have one here behind me. And if you look at it, it only has 4 petals, okay? Now that's just one of those ones that they give out, but I'm trying to be as close as possible as that, because it is the one that they give out after all. Okay, so I'm gonna put my zip tie in the back, just like I always do, you know, with all my flowers. I always use 2 zip ties. I have better control that way of my flower. It's not, you know, wasting or I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I used 2 sections here, okay? I used 2 sections here and here. So I'm gonna go over here on this section. So I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna go to this one because I really want this, just these little petals to touch each other, all right? So that one is right on the, it's right on the bar. So I'm gonna go on this bar here. And I'm just gonna zip tie that together. Because at the end of the day, I still only want 4 petals on here. And I think I've got 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Tudee's pretty good, eh? She knows her stuff. Well, I think I have to get a 12-inch. I really do. Oh, darn. That's okay. I may have to make another petal. We'll see. Because I'm going to be making a smaller petal in the middle, okay? We're going to see where we end up here. Where are we at? 28 minutes? We're good. Okay. So put this here. I'm just going to fold this up another one. Okay. All right, so we put the corners together. We're gonna clip that together. This is I find this is an easy wreath to make. And I've told you guys that, you know, the pins, I was looking all over for those yellow pins. And the lady at, oh gosh, what was that name of that place? It's a refurbishing store, not refurbishing, a secondhand store in Perth on North Avenue, okay? Those ladies donated these pins for me because the lady said, you know, she donates to the Legion all the time and she wanted to be part of this. So she's part of this. She donated the pins. I'm donating this to the Legion, so hopefully they'll be appreciative of it. Okay, so here we go again. I have about 1 inch. 1, 2, 3. Taking my sections a little big here. Trying to go quick because I'm watching my clock. All right. You notice I'm pushing everything this way. Okay, it's coming around here, but I'm pushing it as I'm going. Now we get another beautiful petal. I love this petal, it's so cool. 30 minutes, oh Tudee. I wish I had the equipment to do this, to be able to do this on long term. I mean, it just takes so long for me to download. So I'm going to make the other petal, and we're going to put them on the other two on there, because I want you guys to see what I'm doing next. Okay, so that's one. Let's do this one. All right. I love fabric mesh when it behaves itself. It's all about it behaving itself. It frays, but it doesn't fray like poly burlap or deco mesh. It actually behaves quite nicely. It's just a little catchy sometimes. Really, like right now, it's not behaving with me. Okay, come on now. Okay. Now, let's grab everything in the middle. Everything to be nice and straight. The thing is that if you don't gather this together, you're going to end up missing one, okay? Something's going to fly up, and then it's going to end up not being caught up into your petal. So you got to make sure it's all in there. Okay, so here we go. Again, an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I make it look easy, folks, but it's because I've been doing it for so long. And, you know, practice makes perfect. Here we go. The more you do it, the better you get. All right. Okay. So now we have all of our big petals ready to go. It wants to take off in my hand here, but I'm just going to flatten this up, okay? I want this flat, okay, like so, because this is what makes my petal. It creates all these stuff around it, all right? So I'm going to take this to the back, and then I'll put my zip tie in the back here, and we're ready for the frame. I'm going to try and finish this. We're at 33 minutes. I'm trying to go real fast. Tudee hasn't worked this fast, I think, since the show. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here. I think I'm going to need a 12-inch frame, folks. I really do. I really do. Because I've never made one this big. All right. If I do, then we'll just transfer it onto 12-inch. Oh, that looks pretty good. I might be okay. So I'm going to put my next one over here, in my last spot. Okay. And it looks like maybe another one. Okay. But I'm not. I think I'm good. We're good. Okay. So I'm going to push everything forward. Now, I have a lot of space here, okay? So this is what I find that with this petal. I really, really feel that I need a smaller frame, okay? So I have to put this on a smaller frame, folks. But I'm going to show you what would be next, okay? I could put 5, but then it's no longer a poppy. So I'm going to put this on a smaller frame, but I'm going to show you what I would do next. So I take a 10-inch, all right, and I do the absolute same thing. The only thing is that it's 10 inches, but I'm taking 13, all right, because I really want to make a nice little petal here. So I do the exact same thing where I meet my corners. Now this one here is a little bit more difficult because it's small, and that's why I'm taking 13 inches and not 10, because the petal is extremely small, and it's like, yeah, it really is challenging. Okay, so we're all together. Same thing. I'd say like about this, not quite the same much, but not quite an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And I do the same exact thing. All right. Now I got a small one. Okay. Now I'm going to tie this off. Okay, and put my second zip tie in. Now, I'm just a little afraid of what's going on here. But here's what I do. I have to transfer this into a 10-inch or 12-inch frame, okay? This is way too big. But my next one would go in on the mesh, all right? This is where my next my next zip tie is going to go. I'll put it in so that you guys can see. But I'm going to go right on the mesh here, okay? About, I'd say about an inch in. So that this petal sits right on top of the others. All right. See? And then my middle, now see, you can see my middle is too small, okay? I need to move to a smaller form. But it's 4 petals, okay? I'm going to put the 4 petals in between these ones so that I'm hiding this stuff. I'm hiding this, you see? Okay, so this is all going to be hidden, but I got to change it into a 10-inch. This is way too big, okay? So, okay, there's my middle, and that's going to go in the middle there. And that's going to be my poppy. Now, I'm going to bring my camera up. Okay, I apologize. I was ready for this, and here we are at 38 minutes. I need to put this onto a 12-inch, or a 10-inch. I'll try the 12, but I'm pretty sure it's a 10-inch. But we end up with a big flower. Here I am. I'm trying to be. I'm thinking that this is going to be in the Legion, and I want people to see it from far away. So I could add another petal, okay? But then it means I have to add more petals in the middle. And now I'm not looking like a poppy anymore. So, yeah, it's all about looking like the poppy. So I apologize that, I messed up today. But when I come back, I'll have it on the poppy. I won't put this on until, we're ready. But if you'll see, folks, my needles went right through. My little yellow ones. Went right through it. But boy, do I ever love this middle. And this is going to look super great in this flower, right? So on that note, folks, I apologize. And I hope that, the rose was, explanatory. You really got to play with it on getting it the right way. Use your glue. Don't worry about, nobody's going to see your glue. Some people just do them without it. I think that's with the boards. They do them without it. I don't know. I've never used a board, so I couldn't tell you. So on that note, I missed you guys. All last week, I was like, oh, I want to make a video. So when I come back, I'll show you the poppy, and I'm moving on to a Christmas wreath. I got some poinsettias, and I don't know if you've seen on my Facebook or my Instagram, I showed the poinsettias that I've got black, blue, red with some stitching, white stitching. Oh my God, they're so gorgeous. And what I'm going to be making is a ruffle wreath to put those in. So like the black one, I'm going to make a white ruffle wreath with black poinsettias. Ooh, that's going to be so gorgeous. So that's my next video. I'll come back. I'll have this finished. I'll show you how to put it together, the middle anyway, and we'll be finished for the vets, and then we'll move on to that Christmas wreath. Okay. I hope it was informative for you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can follow me with all of this. And don't forget, go onto my channel and sort it as per date, and you'll see that I have 2-3 videos per wreath. Okay, that's the best I can do for you guys as far as from start to finish. I don't have the equipment. I'm using an iPhone. So I'm so sorry, but at least I'm getting the information out there for you. Okay. And so I want to say God bless each and every one of you. God bless the Ukrainians. I hope that war, it's got to finish soon. We got to get back to normal lives and everything. So God bless the Ukrainians. I hope everything works out for them. And you guys as well. God bless you. I hope your projects work out. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And we see you soon. Have a wonderful day, everyone.